What's up everybody, it's your boy French Cooking. Welcome back to the channel, and this is how to make beats for free, episode 17. Today's free VST is called Heavenly Pads by LFOAUDIO. There are so many options for pads out there. I mean, pretty much any synth you come across will have pad presets in it. But if you're looking for a go-to pad VST that's simple, but also gives you some flexibility around sound design, look no further than Heavenly Pads. My man YG's been doing his thing for damn near 20 years now. You know, YG stands for Young Gangsta, so guess he's not that young anymore. Then again, BG stands for Baby Gangsta, and he's even older, so this is all very irrelevant, I'm sorry. Regardless, I wanted to honor YG today with a West Coast Spanish guitar type beat, and I'm gonna lay down a smooth pad in the background to complement that guitar. I'm gonna start with Vinyl Guitar 2 by Echo Soundworks. For some reason, I feel like this guitar sounds the best in E minor. I don't know if it's just a me thing, but I'm gonna start there and see where it takes us because I want this to sound as smooth as possible to make it more realistic and to make it sound like an actual Spanish guitar. I actually think I want to move this G up an octave. Okay, so I have my initial chord. What you want to decide first is whether you want it to be arpeggiated or you want it to be strummed. So arpeggiated, for instance, I would bring this down over here, I bring this down over here. And then for strummed, it would sound like this. So I think for today, I'm gonna go for strummed, and I'm just gonna bring down these velocities to make it a little bit smoother. And I'm gonna work from there. I really like that, it sounds clean so far. So we have our bass for the guitar. Now I'm gonna lay down a top line on top of that for the high end of the guitar. I also slowed it down to 105. Usually for West Coast beats, I'd stick around 100. I want this to be a little bit faster, so I bumped it up to 105. For effects on my guitar, I put on some reverb. I put on some baby comeback for delay. I also added in a compressor, and that's to bring the low end of the guitar up a little bit, make it a little bit more audible. Also tame the peaks of the guitar for the higher frequencies so it's not too harsh. And then finally, I cut out the low end, a little bit of the high end, and some of the harsher frequencies over here. I selected this preset, not going to try to pronounce it, in Heavenly Pads. There are 3 layers to every pad, so I'm going to play around with the level of each layer to get a sound that's really going to complement the guitar. I want to add some brass to this beat, so I have these trumpet one-shots that I downloaded a long time ago from a website called Dynasty Blog. And Dynasty Blog, it's amazing, and these are royalty-free. I'm just not sure if every single pack on that website is royalty-free, so keep that in mind. The blog is also in Spanish, so I don't know if that changes your opinion on it. I'm just playing, man. Just wanted to give you a heads up that you'll have to learn the Spanish word for download before you actually go in there. So what I did is I created a new drum program, and I pulled the trumpet sounds that I like into that drum program. I added one to each pad, and then I adjusted them from there. For example, A08, I went to wave. I want it to be in the key of B, so I pulled it up 4 semitones, and I also pulled the tail down a little bit so that it would cut off quicker. One more important thing, I went to Program Edit and I changed this from poly to mono, meaning only one pad can play at the same time. So if I put a note here and then another one there, this one is going to play until it hits this one and then it gets cut off. So your sounds don't overlap in this case. Watch what happens when I change it back to poly. Your sounds are overlapping, so it doesn't sound as clean. Since I'm making this beat for YG, I kept the drums very, very simple but bouncy. I got my clap, hi-hat, open hat, a snap, an A, my tag, and a cymbal. Gotta have the infinite vocals in there, am I right? I told myself I wasn't gonna put a string in this beat, but BBC Symphony Orchestra just opened itself randomly out of nowhere. It was so weird, so I feel compelled to put one in now, sorry. I like that, but I'm actually going to duplicate it down an octave. By the way, for effects on these strings, first thing I did is I put on OTT, which is a multi-band compressor, or in this case, a 3-band compressor to be more exact. And what that means is that you can apply compression separately to the highs, the mids, or the lows. And I also put on Wider by Polyverse to give it stereo separation. What I think I'm gonna do for arrangement is create a 24-bar verse where I start with just the bass notes of the guitar, then I bring in the vocals after 8 bars, and then after another 8 bars, I'll bring in the string, which leads into the chorus, which is going to be 8 bars, and that chorus is going to have those trumpets that you heard a few minutes ago. That's it, beat done. I don't have to make it more complicated than that. I still have plenty of free VSTs to go, and new ones get released all the time. But this series can't go on forever. So I have a brand new series coming in the summertime that I'm really excited about because I haven't really seen any other content on YouTube like this. And that means I'm going to continue making how to make beats for free, but I'm also going to mix that in with episodes of this new series that's coming in the summer. Make sure you sub up if you haven't already so that you don't miss out on any of that action. Once again, this has been your boy French Cooking. Thanks everyone for watching, and I'll catch you next week with another episode. Peace!
This is French Cooking.
It's all about taking elements out and bringing elements back in to keep your verse and your entire song interesting, keep people listening, but also leave enough space for the rapper to do his thing.